A portion of this video is sponsored by HoloLens with their Lark A1 wireless microphone. More from them later on in this video. I seriously can't believe it's been 9 years since the original Pixel and we are now on the 10th generation of the Pixel devices. And boy, let me tell you, the stuff that I got to see with these new Pixel 10 devices gave me goosebumps. Yes, people, Ben from Lover of Tech, and welcome to my early hands-on and first impressions of the new Pixel 10 devices, consisting of the Pixel 10 Pro XL, the Pixel 10 Pro, the Pixel 10, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and also the new Pixel Watch 4 in the two sizes, 41 and 45 millimeter, and the new Pixel Buds 2a. And when I say early, yes, you're probably seeing this video now on embargo on the 20th of August, but I had the privilege of seeing this as early as the 30th of July. If you follow me on Instagram, loverofTech_VA, shameless plug. I was in Paris, had the chance to go to Google's HQ in Paris to get super early hands-on. And I mean, this was a quite interesting hands-on experience because they were actually limited in what we could show on the phones itself because they had passwords and lock screen patterns on there. So we couldn't actually navigate through the phones ourselves. But regardless, great opportunity, got hands-on, got to see the specialists demonstrate some crazy new AI features on these Pixel devices. And boy, I can't wait to share them. So yeah, let's get straight into it. And let me tell you my first hands-on impressions of these new devices. Now, of course, I'm going to round up all the devices that I've got hands-on to see and experience, but I am going to be focusing more on the Pixel 10 devices. Like I said, that consists of the Pixel 10 Pro XL, the Pixel 10 Pro, and also the Pixel 10 Pro Fold and the Pixel 10. And of course, I will do honorable mentions of the Pixel Watch 4 and also the Buds 2a. I think the Buds 2a is quite interesting what they've done. So yeah, it's an absolute interesting one. You know what, yeah? Ratings to Google for not killing the Pixel series. We're here, 10th generation, 9 years later. It's good to see it. There's so many things that they're bringing to the table that they're upgrading from. Well, yeah, let's just get straight into it and get cracking. First off, let's start with a big boy, the Pixel 10 Pro XL and the Pixel 10 Pro. I'll be honest with you, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between the 9 Pro XL, which is the one I have here. Yeah, spot the difference because I really could not for the life of me see any difference when it came to like what I was seeing. But you know what? It's still a nice lineup. Two Pro devices, two different sizes, 6.3 inch, 6.8 inches. I love the fact that nothing is skimmed in terms of the feature set when it comes to actually using it. But obviously the physical size is going to change things like the resolution and the battery capacity size, which we're going to be getting onto. But the main thing here is the fact that it is powered by the Tensor G5. Now, look, we ain't got to the Tensor G6 yet where I can pretty much play the song like a G6. But you know what? It's good to see the progression because this platform really brings and ushers in new performers because it is on a 3nm fabrication process. That's one thing I'm so glad to see. Now, exactly what the full details are, from what we've been told, it is based on TSMC, which is obviously the Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company. They are really killing it when it comes to the fabrication node and efficiency when it comes to chipset semiconductor manufacturing. So yeah, it's good to see this. Main thing I can't wait to see is the efficiency benefits when it comes to the battery, because the battery capacity that is packing here for both of them are really good. 5,200 milliamps on the XL model, and then I believe 4,870 milliamps. Again, actual ratings differ, but these are really nice capacities. And on this platform, with Android 16 out the box, which is one thing I'm so glad they did compared to last time. Yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Cannot wait to do my extreme battery drain test and my real day in the life to really see how they translate. It's very promising. Now, the screen resolutions are always slightly different with Google, slightly lower or higher, give or take. But the main thing here, the new Super Actua displays can really peak up to 3,300 nits. Now, I always say take these nit ratings with a grain of salt. I'm gonna see how that really translates and feels like in the real world. But yeah, these displays are really powerful and bright. The response, the look of them, they really feel at home and it feels like Google are in their bag when it comes to it. Yeah, I really like what they're doing here when it comes to the display, the form factor and the build. Now, Google do this thing when it comes to the design where the Pro models have the matte finish at the back, but you still have the glossy side rails. I still, Google would prefer that you just gave me a matte brush finish. You know, I know that you leave that to the standard 10 because that has the glossy finish at the back to see the difference, and of course all the different colors that come with it as well. But yeah, right now when it comes to the design, it's distinctively Pixel. I like the vibe, I like the look of it. This is something that they really did well. When it comes to the materials that they're using, it's built really nicely. We've got Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2. Everything is really put together. Now, you know, would I have loved to see Gorilla Glass armor? Of course, when you experience that kind of anti-glare technology that you've been seeing from some of the competition, you want it here. But for now, when it comes to how it's crafted and built, yeah, Google, you knocked out the park. I like what I'm seeing here. Great iteration, and yeah, it feels right at home. If you're into content creation like me, audio can make or break your video. That's why I've been using HoloLens's Lark A1 wireless microphone, and it's been a total game changer. This little guy is ridiculously compact. It's just 8 grams and less than a centimeter thick, yet it delivers 48 kilohertz, 24-bit Pro audio, and with 120 decibel SPL, it handles loud sounds without distortion. Even better, it's plug and play with your phone using USB-C or Lightning. Just pop in the receiver and you are recording. Want to fine tune your sound? Level up with 3-stage intelligent noise cancellation, 6 gain levels, plus EQ and reverb presets. You can dial it in to really suit any vibe. And get this, the charging case keeps 2 transmitters rotating for up to 54 hours of uninterrupted recording. One charge gives you up to about 9 hours, and that is 6.5 hours with noise cancellation on. Also, the receiver includes a side port so you can charge your phone while filming with no interruptions. If you're serious about crisp, hassle-free audio that is mobile friendly, the HoloLens Lark A1 is a steal. Check the link in the description below to grab yours, and thank you to HoloLens for sponsoring a portion of this video. Now, I talked about the specs and the performance in the platform Tensor G5, and it's all about the Tensor processing units, the TPUs, and of course, the raw performance should be improved. Again, like I said, these phones had lock screens on them. There wasn't something I could unlock, do any benchmarks or go through it myself. But yeah, I'm just trusting that this platform is really gonna be the upgrade that we're looking for, not just in terms of raw performance, but really taking the onboard AI calculations and compute to a new level, which you're gonna see with some of the features. But what I really do appreciate is with these Pro models, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and they've done something that I'm really happy that they've actually now included. The Excel model does start with a base of 256 gigabytes, and there are 1 terabyte models on both of them. Now, again, the normal Pro 6.3 inches does start with 128 gigabytes, and I guess that's kind of standard practice. I still would have loved that started with a base of 256 gigabytes, which is my honest critique. But yeah, 16 gigabytes of RAM with all the AI models that you're actually on board, just like what they did with the Pro models. Yeah, it's a good look. So this platform so far, when it comes to the battery, the chipset, the RAM, the display, the build quality, yeah, it's coming in really good. But you see, what I'm also really happy to see is Qi 2. Yes, they've actually got Qi 2 wireless built in natively. You don't need to have a case to have magnetic charging. Finally, an Android OEM has implemented Qi 2 natively without having to use a magnetic case. And yeah, they've got their Pixel Snap accessory that helps with that. But yes, finally, I love this. And how they've done it with the native wireless charging is that the XL model does support up to 25 watt wireless charging using the Qi 2 standard, whereas the Pro and the 10 does have the 15 watts. But either way, this is something that I really love. I love that they've integrated this natively as well. You see this across the board, and that is including the Pixel 10 Pro 4, which we'll get to, and also the Pixel 10. But yeah, this is a good look when it comes to the charging. Charging is also improved. I think it's gone up to like 39 watts. Again, I'm going to test this. You know what I do when it comes to battery drain tests, charging tests, and everything else that comes with it. I'm definitely going to test everything across the board to make sure that all these things have come in and where the improvements are. Overall, I really love the fact that they've implemented this. It sets the tone, and it's great to see an Android manufacturer implemented Qi 2 as a standard built in with the magnetic charging. The camera experience, and yeah, this is one area on these pro models. Google are not missing a thing. Yes, triple camera system, main 50 megapixel wide, and then you've got the 48 megapixel ultra wide, and then the 48 megapixel 5x as well. This is an improved camera system. 42 megapixel selfie. And the thing that really blew my mind from what they were showcasing was the first one, which is the ProRes zoom. Yeah, the professional resolution zoom up to 100x. And then, right, the camera coach. I kid you not, when the Pixel specialist demonstrated the camera coach working, I tried to stay composed because I had to, because I was recording it and the time was limited. It was only an hour that we got to be in there. And really, it was about 45 minutes scattering around, battling people to get hands on. But when I was seeing this working, I had goosebumps. And I kid you not, the computational power and the AI features being used to be able to have a camera coach showing you different poses, analyzing, and actually taking pictures and suggesting things that weren't there just because the person was there. Look how I'm freaking out right now. It's insane. So yeah, I think this feature is probably going to save some relationships, because boy, if you're struggling to, take pictures of your misses and you have to go over and over again, you might have to rely on Pixel Coach when it comes to the camera coach to really, get you through, because I don't know, man. Like from Add Me last time to what we're seeing now, this is crazy. This is where the Pixel and the Tensor G5 platform is just going nuts at it. So yeah, I can't wait to camera test this, right? I really cannot wait to really put this through its paces, testing the real day in the life, as well as just showcase what it can do. Now, again, I couldn't go in and use the camera UI myself to really test it, but yeah, that's something I'll get to once my review unit comes in, which it should be coming in pretty much right now. So I can't wait to put that through its paces. But one thing they did say is that with the 100x ProRes zoom, this is something that they catered to the environment, but not to people. They were really conscious to make sure that people kept their appearance and actually kept that intact. So that's something that they really, really harped on about. So yeah, it's interesting what they're doing here. Can't say much more apart from just wait for me to test it once I get my review units in. But man, I can't lie. Seeing that camera coach in action and everything else, I had goosebumps. I ain't even gonna front. Now, colors wise for the Pixel 10 Pro series, I always find it interesting how Google names these. You do have Moonstone and Jade, Porcelain, as well as Obsidian. And of course, 7 years of OS generation updates. You've got Wi-Fi 7 available as well. Like, they are packing everything in here. So yeah, I can't wait to fully test them. What's more interesting is the Pixel 10 series. There's some substantial upgrades here, sneakily, it's gonna go under the radar, but this might be the sleeper hit. And why I say this is, right, yeah, you've got a 6.3-inch display, and it is 1080p. It does go up to 3000 nits when it comes to the peak brightness. Again, watch these figures and what that actually means in real life. You've got 12 gigabytes of RAM when it comes to that relations of how it works in terms of the performance. Tensor G5 as well, so 3nm platform. You do get a slightly bigger battery than the standard Pro. So yeah, that is working with 4970. I can't wait to battery test that to really see where the difference is. And of course, you do get the Qi 2 standard built in as well with the magnetic charging at 15 watts. You do get two storage configurations, 128 gigabytes and 256 gig. What I really love here though is the camera system. So yeah, you do get a 48 megapixel main wide sensor, which is great. There's a 13 megapixel ultra wide, but what's interesting here is that there is now a new 10.8 megapixel 5x. Now I suspect this is the same telephoto from the Pixel 9 Pro Fold from last year, but to see a normal base non-pro flagship device with a telephoto is one thing, right? We see some manufacturers do either 2 or 3x, but a 5x where someone not even putting a telephoto, ooh, yeah, I like this one. I really like this one. You do have a 10.5 megapixel selfie, but I'll tell you what, the Pixel 10 is where the vibe is at the moment, because this is looking great. And obviously the zoom does go up to 20x with the super res zoom, but whew, I'll be honest with you, man, Google have snuck in with this one, because you do still get Corning Gorilla Glass 2. And yeah, this is good. This is good. I really, really like it. IP68, like all of them. The display does refresh between 60 to 120 hertz compared to 1 to 120 hertz from the Pro models. But yes, Wi-Fi 6E and everything else that comes with it, it does look really nice. I like the color selection as well. It does look really clean. This is something that they've put together really well. And I think the 10 is really the one that's probably going to take the shine off so many devices when it comes to what they're doing. And of course, finish-wise, you do have indigo, you've got frost, lemongrass, and obsidian. I think the color finish is really nice. Again, just make them all matte across the board. Either way, man, I think the Pixel 10, that's the one that might actually steal the show. Now for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, and they've done a decent amount here. One of the key features that they're really talking about is this new gearless hinge design. Yeah, that was quite an interesting one because it really does make how it feels when it comes to being unfolded and folded just really solid and granular. I really like what they've done here. I want to spend more time with it. But yeah, what they've done here with this is great. Now, when it's unfolded, what I'm seeing in terms of the measurements from what they told us is that it is 5.2 millimeters and when closed is 10.8. So they're not super chasing things like, you know, that thinness and everything. It just feels really well packaged and really well put together. And of course, when it comes to the specifications, again, Tensor G5, 16 gigabytes of RAM, base storage at 256 gigabytes, and then you've got the 512 option, and you can go up to 1 terabyte as well. Yeah, they're really packing the heat when it comes to what you can have with this. The camera system feels very familiar, 48 megapixels, and then you've got that with the telephoto at 10.8 megapixels and ultra wide at 10.5 megapixels. And then both the selfies, be it the inner and the outer display, they are 10 megapixels as well. So yeah, this feels right at home in terms of what we know in terms of hardware wise, but hopefully the Tensor G5 with all the features that I mentioned before really ups the quality and the processing power as well. Now, of course, you've got the Moonstone and the Jade for the colors, 7 years of always updates as well. It's really put together to be a pro folding device. Now, yeah, I'm really eager to see this because you've got Wi-Fi 7. It looks like it's packing everything that's best with Google in there from the display, which again, it doesn't do the variable all the way down to 1 hertz. It's 60 hertz to 120 hertz when it comes to that. The inner display is 8 inches, the outer display is 6.4 inches. So even more usable, more edge to edge. So definitely something I'm interested in seeing. Yeah, this is looking great. Now it weighs like around 258 grams. So yeah, it does pack a bit of weight, but what I like is the battery capacity, 5,015 milliamps, and then all the improvements when it comes to charging as well. And it is a fold that has native Qi 2 built in as well with magnetic charging. So again, using an official Pixel Snap or any other supported Qi 2 wireless charging accessory, it will work natively without having to use the case. They've got cases and accessories for it, but I love the fact that this is natively built in. Again, this is something that they've done well to really package together. I can't wait to get hands-on with this, really test it more. Time was limited, but yeah, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is looking solid. 2 honorable mentions that I wanted to add when it came to the software to avoid this video being too long is Magic Q and also the accessibility readback with the camera UI. Now with Magic Q, from how they demonstrated it to us, over text message, this is using the Gemini models to contextually pull all the information that's been sent to you with all the things it knows about your scheduling, where you need to go, how you need to go about it. And it's just meant to intelligently put all that information and just feed it back to you. Again, I need more time with this, especially when it comes to things like doing my real day in the life. But again, these are the AI features that I'm seeing here, where even someone like me, where I'm not so hell-bent on software so much, I was getting goosebumps. And yeah, this Tensor G5 platform for on-board processing into the cloud where it needs it, yeah, Google are in their bag. And another thing, like I said, they showed us is for impaired hearing and accessibility people that are needing these assist doors, man. I kid you not. It was showing me stuff on the camera UI where it was talking to me in terms of who was in frame, what was happening, the depth, who was like, it was insane. It was insane, and it was intelligent about it as well. Again, not necessarily like a core feature, but for accessibility reasons, having that kind of granular and fast and accurate depiction of what's happening in the scene to help guide you in how you need to take pictures, frame and do stuff. Honestly, this Tensor G5 platform is doing bits right now. I need more time before I get ahead of myself. Yes, I definitely need, but I just needed to put that in there. So much is happening here, more time is needed, but I kind of just wanted to mention that. Quickfire mentions of the remaining devices, the Pixel Watch 4. We've got two sizes here, 41mm, 45mm, and this is something that is going to be a very, very nice upgrade. Up to 3000 nits for the display on there, refreshes between 1 to 60 hertz. You've got this powered by the Snapdragon W5 Gen 2. Yeah, everything in here is really such a nice upgrade. Again, I need to test this one more. Time was really limited in terms of what I could actually do to see them. Storage is 32 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes of RAM. Everything in here in terms of the IP rating at IP68, 5 ATM rating. You've got the actual display at 360. It looks really nice and fits really well. I really like what they've done here. It's something that is very interesting. Of course, you've got the 41mm as well. Pretty much the outright look of what we're getting here. So again, it's a very, very nice upgrade. More details on the Pixel Watch 4. I really had a very limited time, so I was focusing on the phones a lot more. And last is the Pixel Buds 2a. Yeah, not a new Pro, but a Buds 2a. Comes in a hazel and an iris color. It's IP54 rated as well. It's looking really nice. It looks to really be good. Again, I didn't get to fit them on. I could only really hold them and, you know, kind of get a feel for how they look in terms of the case and the look of it. You've got like a slightly curved wingtip kind of design on there. They're powered by the Tensor A1, and of course they do have active noise cancelling. Again, I'm gonna need my own pair and just time to really use it and test it. But in this particular situation, yeah, we've got new Pixel Buds 2a, AI powered as well. So lots of features when it comes to the assistant. But yeah, this is what we have in terms of the complete lineup of devices. Pricing wise for the Pixel 10 lineup with the UK prices I have for their respective base models, I will try and put the euros and the US price equivalents. For the Pixel 10 is going to be £799. For the Pixel 10 Pro, that is going to be £999 or £1,000. And then you've got the XL model, which is going to be £1,999, £1,200. And for the Fold, which is going to be £1,749. Now, from what I've been told, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is going to be coming out a bit later, sometime in October, like around the 8th or the 10th. So that's coming a bit later. But when it comes to the 10 Pro, as well as the XL, as well as the 10, that's going to be available around the 27th, 28th of August. So yeah, they're going to be here a bit earlier. Now for the Watch 4, if you're looking at the 41mm, that's going to be £349. And then for the 45, that's going to be £399. For the Wi-Fi only, if you want the LTE models, add an extra £100 for each particular SKU. And for the Pixel Buds 2a, that's a sweet price of £129. So very compelling and very competitive. It's going to be very interesting to see how they turn out. But yeah, the pricing across the board, this is what I have for the devices so far. So we made it to the end. Hopefully the video is not too long. No script, straight off the dome. I like to vibe and just be in the situation and be in the moment when it comes to these kind of recaps. So yeah, boy, Google are doing a lot when it comes to these Pixel devices. I can't wait to get my review and it's in to see how they hold up with my real world testing and put it through its paces. So yeah, watch out for everything. I've got some amazing lineup of content for you all. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think of the new Pixel 10 generation devices and everything else that comes with it? Are you impressed so far? Is there more, or are we gonna see some sleeper hitting surprises when we get into the weeds of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now that's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS Tech Lover Squad so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.